Hello, bannanga aba UNN abatuwuliriza abazzotulaba. How are you all, our viewers? Welcome to the Revolutionary Spa. Welcome with Sophia, Sebi. Welcome mwenna tubaaniriza. Mbaaniriza, in fact. Mbaaniriza, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. How are you today? Kansubire gye mutaddeko engalo. Bwe bagamba gye mutaddeko engalo gigenze bulungi. I welcome you all. I'm hoping tino today tugenda continuinga kwongerako ku show yaffe yali ya last Friday eyali ya launch. Nga bwe mumanyi nze Sophia Sebi, the host owa Revolutionary Spa. Tuddamu nga tugenda ku mindset yaffe, tugenda tutya to revolutionize our mindset. It's so important, chiri very important, and I am hoping timwenna tuyina kye tuyiga kuli, kufenna tuyina kye tweyigako. Sinze ngamba manyi buli kimu. Naye I'm here, and I'm here to serve. I'm serving you. You let me know, give me your comments, email yange wedia or sophia@getunn.com. Of course, if you have any feedback, any comments, any suggestions to this cause and this revolutionary spa about mindset, manyaba, abasinga abatambuddeko, maybe even not kubanga ensi efunda because of internet. Tuine emikutu ja, kubeera ku mukutu ensi yonna efunda, so ali e Uganda asobola okumanya ekigenda mu UK, ali e UK asobola okumanya ekigenda e China, wonna woli. Naye mbaaniriza nnyo. Ate njagala okusooka okusaba okunsonyiwa okuba late again, and that's something I'm working on. It's one of my actions I do need to work on. Omanyi tulina okubeera transparent, right? So nange ndi wano di transparent situukiridde, and we all fenna tetuukiridde, naye of course waliwo ebintu ekimu ku bibiri ebiba bitusiba, not because it's disrespect, but because it's sort of unforeseeable. Bw'oba olina abaana omanyi kyentegeeza. So as a parent, I'm having to juggle my time all the time. And I'm hoping tinammwe abaliyo mukitegeera, naye tugende maaso. Kale show yaffe mbadde njagala kutandika ne sheno, of course okusookera ddala mwenna abali eyo mbalamusiza, mwenna abalwazizza mbasabira, mwenna abatusiddwako any sort of challenges, whatever the case, oba ofiiriddwa, oba bakugobye ku mulimo, oba kwega rent tasasuddwa, oba oli very short for cash, oba oli oyina relationship endinze, oba whatever the case, oba oli mulwadde, oba kyonna kyekiri, all the challenges and difficulties of life, mbagamba nti no, there is hope. Never ever lose hope. Kubanga hope yokka gye tubeera nayo in terms of continuing to go forward. Kubanga imagine if you didn't have hope, then twandibadde to giving up very easily. Not so? So kansubire bambi, sheno mugenda kuba muyina kye muyigamu. Nange byenjiga bingi kubanga bwe mba nkola research, mukola with all my heart, and especially fenna abali ku UNN, we make sure that we do research okubaleetera ebintu ebisobola okubazimba. That's the most important thing. Ebisobola okubazimba. Nga bwe mumanyi show yaffe eno eri about mindset, eri about revolutionary mindset. We are now it should be, we continue our series. This is episode 2, and it's revolutionary mindset, but I'm hoping nti gye bujja nammwe mujja kumbuulira topics kiji ze tuba tuleeta. Kati nga tutandika show, njagala first of all kwebaza all those who are in the revolution and aba putting every single sort of task or action. Nebe kaba katono katya o sharing the video, oyina omuntu gw'okubiddeko n'ombuuza munnange oli otya ebigenda mu maaso biraba. That is also important. We need to change the way we do things. Tulina okukyusa engeri gye tukolamu ebintu, engeri gye tubadde tukolamu ebintu nga mu Uganda community yaffe. As the Ugandan people, tulina okukyusa engeri gye tukolamu ebintu, oba mu bulamu bwo, oba ogamba politics, oba ogamba at your job, at your work, in your business. Tulina okukyusa engeri gye tukolamu ebintu in order that tusobola okuperforminga to our peak performance. I'm sure abamanyi about mindset and revolutionary actions and how to, to better your life and how to improve your life. There's so much out there on the internet. I'm sure you see a lot of motivational, videos going around. Nemuuliza nogamba, yes, that's it. Ndaba bangi nnyo basharinga, their thoughts for the day, reflection. That is it. That's all it is. It's about encouraging your person gwenga omuntu. Kubanga revolutionary spa etegeeza nze for me, egamba self-purposeful action. The SPA means self-purposeful action. Eminga nti gwenga omuntu oyina okuba purposeful, oyina okuba nga ogendererwa. Buli kyokola kiina ekigendererwa. Tomalaga. Oba ntegerekeka. Kati nga nkola a little bit of other introduction, but njagala to talk about human rights. Today is Human Rights Day. Mumanyi human rights kitegeeza?
You can't talk. You are muzzled. I'm not. I'm a free black man. Is that you think you need a handout.
Yes, mbadde nga tutandika gundi, topic yaffe nga tuddayo where we started off. We'll sort of revisit okuddayo nga okubajjukiza kye twaliko last time. Twali twogera ku our mindset. What is it and why is it important? Of course, tumanyi mindset, it's about our mind. It's the physical, our brain. In our brain is our mindset. It's about our conscious and unconscious things that we do, or unconscious and subconscious things we do. So mindset is very important. Okuba nti netuyigiriza bye tukola buli lunaku ne bw'ogamba nti ogenze kwebaka, that was your mind telling you that it's time to go to bed. Bw'ogamba nti nongenda kuteekako alaamu kuzuukuka, that is you using your mind, your brain to say nti kati time ya kwebaka. Just to recap a little bit, tulina subconscious mind, bino ebintu bye tulowooza bulijjo, byokola bulijjo nga tebiri ku autopilot, naye ng'ate oyina ne subconscious mind yo yene kuyamba, yene ina memories, neba nga in fact yeyo gye wayiga nga oli muto, ebintu bye wayiga nga oli muto. Let's say between the ages of 0 to 7, ages 0 to 7 ezo zaali very important, oba ziri very important in any human being's life. In any human being. Kati mbuulira bw'obanga wakulira mu environment eyo tekunurturinga, environment eyo teku-encouraginga, nga bakukotogera, oba you're being discouraged to create, to be the best person, to be the best version of yourself, to create things. Mujjukira bwe twali tucreatinga nga oyinza okucreatinga nti oba omupiira oba ocreatinze tugambe nti no dole tuzicreatinze mu byayi. Mujjukira, so bw'obanga wayitamu that sort of life, omanyi exactly ekigenda mu maaso. Eyo time eyo yali ya creating things, being a creator. So from 0 to 7, you created, you were allowed to create. So omwana omuto bw'aba tali allowed to create, to be the best version of themselves, to be their own person, what do you think they're going to become as an adult? So take care of your heart and your mind, for they are like a garden. and nothing good thrives in a garden full of weeds. Garden yeyo, let's say, environment yo abazadde bo, abazadde bo batebakunaturinga bwe batebaku, oyina some sort of trauma, oba wayitamu even more trauma than you can imagine. I'm not going to go into that kubanga mmanyi nti sometimes bw'oyogera ku bintu waliwo kati nga abatulaba wayinza okuba waliyo omuntu nga ye ayina real, very traumatic, a lot of traumatic experiences, ate nga bwe tubyogerako ayina okuba nti no kegakiyinza okumujjukiza. So eno show just for your self-care bwebanga eyina kyekujjukiza about your traumatic experiences, about what is not working well in your life, ng'ojjukira bye wayitamu ng'omwana omuto, oba even now manyi nti eno show eyinza okubring up some memories z'otayagala kujjukira, ate ezo memories ezo ziyinza okukola obubi. So please take care of yourself. If you feel at any one point nti nno nyina ekintu kye njogeddeko nga kikujjukiza oba kikudistressinze, please by all means njagala you come off air, you go and take time out. It's important kubanga bwe tuba tetuli balamu, ate what is the point of living? What is the point of life? You need to take care of you first before you take care of everybody else. But it doesn't mean be selfish. Naye bw'oba wayitamu traumatic experiences, that is my message to you. Take care of yourself and make sure that you can go away and not continue to watch the program just because for the sake of it. But you need to take care of your mind kubanga ebintu ebyo biyinza okuimpactinga even tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So I really encourage you, but tuba tugenda ku our next slide, just to remind ourselves, this conscious and subconscious mind, what is it all about? The conscious mind, if we could go to the next slide, please, where we have our iceberg. That conscious mind on top, and it's only 5% of what we do all the time. It's only 5%. And the subconscious mind is 95% of the time. So 95% of the time is our subconscious. That's where most of the things that we do are. Naye nga ate tekiri conscious, it's not automatic, it's not on autopilot. Only 5% is conscious, which means there's a lot we can do that kyetusobola okubringa from the 95% into our conscious, okuba nti nno tusobola okukola ki okukola okuperforming at our best performance. We can do that if we wanted to, if you took time to work on yourself. If you took time to work on yourself, if you took time to look after your being, your spirit, twogera ku spirit, ku soul. If you took time to look after number one, including body, mind, and soul, including body, the physical, what do you eat? What do you expose your mind to? Bichi olaba bikuzimba oba tebikuzimba? Are you happy with your life the way it is now? I know abantu abamu bagenda kugamba nti eno show lwaki eri ku about the person. Naye imagine the whole reason we are here in the revolution eya Uganda to change our leaderships, our governments, is because we have individuals in office who are selfish, who have decided that they will not care for anybody else, not care for thy neighbor, who have decided ntino bo bajja kwekusa bokka. But if we don't look at okwekusa kwokka ekyo kiri selfish kubanga omuntu alina this ego, of course the mindset is also about ego or ego yetuleetera okuba nti tulina pride. Oyina pride, toyagala kusaba kisonyiwo, toyagala kusaba accountability. You think you own the things that should be of country. And a correction from last show, Nagama to Uganda is one of the richest, continents. No, it's not a continent. I know that it's a country, but it's in Africa as a continent, and it's Africa were one of the richest continents on earth. Naye abakulembeze baffe kyekyo ekibasikiriza okuba nti no bali in this sort of selfish sort of egoistic situation of self, because there's nothing like taking care of the mindset. Nabo bakulira mu environment ebagamba nti no, you have to care for only you, yourself and I, me, myself and I. Never tuba caring for me, myself and I always. What does that go to do? What does that do to our community, our country? How do we improve ourselves, our individual selves, in order to be peak performers? And that means we can be peak performers at work. Peak performers, until you can be the best version of yourself. You can be a peak performer at work. You can be a peak performer in your family home, in your family environment. You can be a peak performer with the relationships. That can be friends or intimate relationships. Osobola okuba peak performer. You can be a peak performer in your community. You can be a peak performer in your neighborhoods. Naye nga olina okuba nga olina strategy, the blueprint gye twogerako, olina okuba nga olina strategy ekulaga how do I improve on myself? How do I become the best version of myself? Kale kansoke, let me put that there. Naye mbadde njagala kubajjukiza nga nzirayo gamba nti no, today is Human Rights Day. Human Rights Day, what is it? Human Rights Day, we're celebrating every individual human rights, every single person in the world, your human rights. There's about 12 human rights, and I'm not going to go into detail with them. Kubanga manyinti tuina Hanifa ali, well versed with the law, and she would probably go into detail with that. I just get into detail in every legal sort of statute in terms of the 12 rights that you have. Are they 12? Actually, there might be 16. Nayenga, please, if you can go and Google human rights. Human rights says, you have a right to live. You have a right to, to have food. You have a right to a justice system. Your rights, a government, fair hearing. You have rights to be treated humanely. Kati, I just want you to reflect a little bit. Imagine Uganda's situation. Our morals and human rights are physically upheld. Bweziba teziri upheld, bweziba tebazitaddeko importance, Chichi echigenda maaso, lwaki Ugandans' human rights teziri of importance? What role do our leaders play? Ogamanti, they don't uphold our human rights. Are you supposed to be stopped and searched any time? You as a mother, do you have the right health services when you're having a child? And that child that you're bringing into life, have they been brought up in a nice environment or a just environment? Hospitals are fit. What is it that tells you that our human rights are not upheld? What does it say about our justice system, the court system, the prison system, the police system? What does it say about those things that are not going well, that we all need to know all the human rights articles in order that you are able to stand up for your rights, for another person's rights? Kubanga omuntu omu bw'aba amanyi, it spreads like wildfire. Oba abantu bwe baba manyi, manyi nti abantu abali ku UNN ba viewers baffe mwenna abali ku UNN, when you get to know, you understand why things are happening the way they do, lwaki ebintu biringa bwe biri. Don't you feel amazingly awakened? N'owulira nga this really heavy load lifted off your shoulders, ng'oli free kubanga you have this knowledge. And because you've made it a point, you've been intentional, purposeful, okuba nti n'ogenda n'omanya ki ekigenda mu ggwanga lyaffe, ki kyensobola okwongerako ku bwongo bwange oba ku magezi gange okuba nti nno kintwala ku another level, kubanga kati mwabali ku UNN muli ku another level of thinking. Lwaki Uganda tulowooleza ku bintu bye tulaba by'omu maaso? Why when we say nti no tuli of faith, amakanisa gajjudde ng'amakanisa, amakereziya gajjudde, whatever churches, mosques, whatever it is, every religion you can think of eri Uganda. But why is it that we are so gullible nti no tetulowooza beyond what we see? We need to think a little bit deeper than that. When we think about when you think about deeper than that, teri nti no muntu mulala agenda kugamba fenna tugendere wamu naye, tulina okuba purposeful okunoonyereza, tulina okuba intentional ne tugamba nti nedda njagala kweyongerako ku bintu byemmanyi. Sigenda kugamba nti no okuba omugagga kwe kubeera ne ssente. Sigenda kuba nti ndowooza nti okuba n'ebintu ebingi, golofa oba oyina emmotoka zifaanana nga gold, nti kwe kubeera nti oli mugagga. Obugagga obusinga buli about knowledge. What you pass on. Things perish. So I encourage you bannange nti no buli omu olina okugenda okusooka okusoma, okweyigiriza, self-realization, self-discovery. Tulina okugenda ku journey eno as much as we're doing the collective. Fenanga ku UNN ogamba nti it's about us as a people of Uganda. We need revolutionary, leadership. How about you need revolutionary self? You need to change your thinking. You need to change your actions. Ebintu byokola tosobola kugamba nti no kale oze ku UNN oyagala nnyo enkyukakyuka ng'ate gwe tokyuse, osigadde nga bw'oli. Oba osigadde nga bw'oli manya ate gwe ogenda mu some ministry oba ogenda kubeera mu public office. Then we go back to zero. We go back to exactly what we didn't want to do. So bwe tuba twagala okukyukakyuka, we need to change ourselves first. You need to look at yourself. Twagamba self-discovery. You need to know, do you know what it is you want from life? Your body, mind, and soul and spirit. If so, do you have a plan? Oyina plan nga bw'ogenda okubifuna ebyo byoyagala about what is not going well in your life. If not, why not? Bw'obanga osobola okujja ku UNN n'olaba buli kimu ebirala, something happening to another, n'olaba live zone, n'olaba live zone, n'okola inventory oba n'obala ebitabo oba n'obala essente zo, lwaki oba tosobola kugamba nti obwongo bwange buli butya, nyina ebintu bwe mbiyigiriza ebipya okusimuulawo bino bye mbadde nkola. Ebiri by'obadde okola bwe biba nga bibadde birungi ebimu, fine, yongera okubitwala mu maaso, naye by'obadde okola bwe biba nga tebiri, nga birimu lwaki ebyo ebintu tebikyuka? Imagine living life day by day without a plan. Tuli kuki wano bw'obanga gwozuka n'ogera n'okola, n'omala okola n'oddeeka, okwata basi yemu, okwata route yemu, oba ovuga mu direction yemu, otambulira mu direction yemu, togamba nko maybe kampiteko wano, tomanyi ki ky'ogenda kusangayo. So how is change going to happen without you being intentional about the things you are doing? Without a definite plan, you end up with someone else's plan. olaba kino kye tugamba fenna ne tubeera heated, emotional about campaigns. I will always remind you, campaigns bwe zaaliwo last year twali very heated and emotional, and tugamba ki ekigenda maaso kubanga ffe tuli ku plan y'omuntu omulala, naye ng'ate gw'olina okuba ne plan yo ekintu bwe kiba tekigenze the way you want it to go, oyina plan yo gy'ogamba no tebagenda kunvuga speed bano. Naye nga bw'olaba omukulembeze oba omukulembeze aliko ataalondebwa, Museveni yaliko ataalondebwa naye agamba nti yajja gendako, ye abadde ne plan, naye ffe tetwalina plan. Kyova olaba nti tuli mu situation eyo gye tulimu. So take a personal responsibility to do something about the things that are not going well in your life. If not, do you think, ani agenda okuba responsible? Who will be responsible? No one is going to be responsible for your life. So I encourage you all. So go homework today. Again, Ali about go and read up on the human rights. It's on Google. If you're on Facebook all the time, or volume social media, instead of going from live to live, please. Gendo some you need to. This is part of the homework. So nga tugenda ko mu break njagala mulabe this video. Then tukomewo tumalirize our episode or our learning from last week, which will be then tomorrow, next week tubenga tutandika topic endala. Nayenga, this is Revolutionary Spa, and it's about self-purposeful action. Thank you.
You are parading yourself before the world as international beggars when you gave civilization to the world. Your problem is not America. Your problem is not Israel. Your problem is not Britain. Your problem is your disunity and your dependence on others to do for you what you could do for yourself. So I don't have to come back here anymore to help you. The help is already here. The knowledge is already here. The land is here. The sun is here. The water is here. The minerals are here. You have some of the finest minds in the world, but they're in Europe and they're in America making money while Africa suffers. Why don't we create politically stable environment and call the children of Africa back home to help build Africa? We are your children. And we will come and help. But don't expect us to come with billions of dollars when we don't have it. We're struggling in America. But you got it all right here under your foot. And you should be ashamed not to look to yourself, begging white folk to give you what you could give yourself. What I said today, which one of these countries is going to give you $20 million? America's not going to give you $20 million. You got it right here, but your disunity won't allow you to pool it. It's your fault, and you got to accept that responsibility. That is why my message is atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. We got to stop blaming everything on somebody else and see what is our responsibility here.
If not for mankind, what use is Mama Uganda when its very heart, soul, and existence is being destroyed? The youth. What use is Mama Uganda when its mothers are being undressed, raped, humiliated, devastated, driven to absolute horror and hopelessness? Watching their children's bodies being stripped of all humanity. I mean the strips on their back, the strips all over their dark skin, chocolate skin. How can you sleep at night when Uganda's sons and daughters are being abducted, raped, tortured, murdered, traumatized, wrongfully imprisoned for standing up, speaking out, and speaking up for the truth and basic human rights, whilst exercising the legal duty in accordance to Article 3 of Uganda's constitution?
If not for Mama Uganda, then where would you be? How dare you keep silent? Speak out and speak up. If not for Bobby Wine, NUP National Unity Platform, yourself, at least for just humanity's sake, we must continue to be resolute and focused to speak up and speak out for those with no voice despite the fear, torture and intimidation. A lot of diversions will always be there due to the dictatorial leaderships. My brothers and sisters, I call upon you, fear not. Every Ugandan life matters. Hashtag, I am not a spectator. Hashtag, we are removing a dictator. Thank you.
Hello, welcome back, everybody. Mukulikeyo kuka break ako. Yes, kati tuina ka hashtag chikozi. Tuina ka hashtag ka DNA, something like that. Anyway, who knows what else we will have. Naye ebintu si bya kusekeramu, but it's botaseka I suppose oka. Remember to move around our mindset. Tuli about human rights. Today's Human Rights Day. Over the world, it's Human Rights Day. So human rights is for everybody else and anyone else and not yourself. You need to think again. What are your human rights? Do you know them? Ozimanyi human rights zo ozimanyi. In Uganda, tuli about Uganda, it's not just being a citizen of Uganda, but also you need to know about your international responsibility or your rights in the international world. Kubanga buli kiseera tugenda mu, international, tuli mu mawanga kati right now. Ugandan gundi constitution egenda kuba oba laws zigenda kubanga tezikola joli. So what laws uphold your rights? Are you going to allow okubanti noli discriminated against? Are you going to be allowed to be tortured? Are you going to be allowed to be abused, trafficked? If you know your rights, do you take time to read and research? Human rights says on Noziri quite simple. Nowadays in the workshop, and it was just reminding me, kubanga, as a social worker, obviously I need to know these human rights because I stand up for individual rights, families' lives, children's lives, rights as well. Children's rights, individual rights, adults, children, and elderly, all of or people with learning difficulties or disabilities. That is my responsibility as a social worker, as a profession. But also it doesn't mean tekitegeeza nti no kibeere kuba professionals bokka. Naawe ng'omuntu osobola okweyigiriza how to stand up for yourself wherever you are. You need to use your internet wisely, or your the time that you spend online on internet wisely. What have you done to find out what your rights are? Wherever you are, nga bakubaina, bakubonyabonya, you're working under really inhuman conditions. What are your rights? Kale katugende mu gundi mu back to our mindset. This is all around mindset, by the way. So last week twagamba nti call to action 1, you need to take an inventory stock. You need to take an inventory. Nga bw'otwala inventory y'ebyamaguzi byo, you need to be intentional about what you are currently doing your entire life. Be brutally honest with yourself. Beera wa mazima gy'oli. Amazima ng'owandiika kiki ekiŋŋaanye okuba nti no ndi wano wendi. Bw'oba ng'oli happy with your life, then by all means, go ahead. And that's a good thing nti n'omanyi ky'okola, omanyi ky'oliko. Ne njogera kwabo kuggwe ali eyo alowooza nti oli hopeless, alowooza nti no you cannot do like someone else. oba we comparing buli kiseera ne someone else. We are not in a competition. Toli mu competition with anybody else. Katonda yakutonda ng'oli unique, oli important, oli amazing. Yakutonda ng'amanyi atonze gundi bwati, atonze lese Sophia ali unique, tewali Sophia mulala. Oyinza okunefanyanyizamu omuntu omulala naye everything about me is about my spirit and my mindset. It's not about the look-alike. Never baba twins. Oyinza okusanga omulongo omu ye ng'ali bulala, omulala ali bulala. Naye nga baavaayo nga bwe tubayita twins, at the same time, or maybe a minute or so seconds between each other. Naye ng'ate bali totally different in their personality. Ekintu ekikulaga nti n'oli unique is your personality. So togezaako okufaanana muntu mulala. Be brutally honest about your life right now. Lekera ogamba bantu bala mujje mutuyambe, jango nyambe gundi, jango nyambe, omenya abanno. You are unique in your own self, and you need to take yourself that way. Waliwo abantu benjogera nabo kale, through this revolution of us since the campaigns, I've got to make friends, and I'm sure every single one of you, aja maybe my inbox nagamba, hi Sophia, how are you, Obachi? I'm always on point by replying to every single one of you. Nchikola lwachi nchikola, sichikola ntikubanga I owe you anything. Naye nchikola kubanga nze the respect for other. Ekitiibwa ky'oteeka muno, how you treat the other person, it's important that you're able to remember ntino buli omu ali unique, ali important. So if you treat each person that comes into your life with respect, now ogenda kufuna respect. Naye bw'oba tokikola, then don't respect anything back. What you put in life is what you get out. So be brutally honest with yourself. Nsobola kukyusa ki mu bulamu bwange, mpisa kize nsobola okukyusaamu. It is serving you, ekintu kyokola, is it serving you? Ebintu byonna byoliko byokola, oba oli ku mulimo, oba oli mu relationship, oba tugamba nti no tuli mu revolution. Tuyinokola revolution in a holistic revolution. Holistic ntegeeza obumu, like a whole. Oba nkigambe ntya mu Luganda, naye nga gwe omuntu mu bulamu bwo bwonna olina okwetunuulira. Omulimo gwe ndiko ngwagala, bwe mba sigwagala, why can't I change the job that I'm in? Omanyi kambabulireko, bw'oba olowooza ntino situation gy'olimu, or you're looking outside of yourself, nti waliwo agenda ogikyusa, this is the reason why there's this depression, reason lwaki abantu bafiringa hopeless, kubanga batadde hope yaabwe yonna bagitadde ku muntu mulala. Naye ng'ate omuntu omulala is not the answer. The answer is inside of yourself. It's inside you. You have the answer. All you have to do is okujjawo ebintu byonna ebiri destructive. Ebiri disruptive, ebiri distracting you. What is distracting you currently in your life? Ebikuwa space for you to think, to have silence. Okole inventory yo, omanye nti no, banange today sigenda kutawaana kubuukabuuka, spending 5-6 hours or 20 hours nkola ebintu ebitangasa, naye lwaki si taking an hour a day out of my life to think about my life, to think about meditation. Why can't you just meditate? Meditation is not about Obaba Babuddha or Baba Chi. No. It's not. Woli nawo, woli Muslim, woli Gundi Christian. You can still have some silence. You just completely reflect on what is it that you did today. Leero koze ki, so tuli ku Friday. What has happened through the week? that you need to address. Oba okiresa awo nekihappeninga some maybe challenges happening nze tozi acknowledge nze tozigambye nti bannange eno challenge ino yabadde quite hard naye kati ngenda kukola ntya tomorrow okuba nti challenge eno teddawo naye bw'okireka era kijja kugoberera into the next day, which means it will pile up. Biringa ebitabo bw'ositula ebitabo ebiri piled up oba ositudde omugugu nga guzitowa nnyo. So is that thing that you're doing, is it serving you or is it limiting you? Ogwo omugugu gukuservinga oba guli gulina kye gukuwa oba kye gukuyigiriza oba ky'ojjamu? What are you going to do about it to change it? How are you going to achieve it? Okay, if we next slide please. So tugenda kuyita these sort of call to actions zenalabye what I thought which was important to me and which I have observed you fenga abantu bana Uganda mu revolution eno bwe tulina okuba nti no tweyigiriza ne tu moving along ne tuba nti no to coming out of ourselves as peak performers, as amazing individuals. But this is all something you need to be learning something new, letting go of the past, of the previous things, and learn new things so that you can move forward. So if we're going to go on the next slide, please. So when we go to call to action, not sure why it's number 3, but we needed number 2. Okay, call to action. No, we go back, we go forward. Forward, please. Now we go to sort of from slide number 12. From slide number 12. Okay, that's fine. So to njagala bobo saba prayer. So after taking your inventory, omaze okutakinga ebintu ebitakuzimba, ebintu ebikuzimba, n'ekyogenda okukola which we will probably go into more detail nga show egenda maaso. Mu maaso eyo tujja genda into detail what steps you can take. Naye nga first of all, you need to remember these things. Byebiri priority byendabye. So you need prayer. You need time for silence. Be still. Read the word of God over Quran, over Bible. Read. Meditate on that. Chikuyamba okuzimba faith yo, okuzimba obugumu, okuzimba okukkiriza kwo, okwekkiririzaamu. From within, it's the inner self, not from outside things. Tewali sente zigenda kujja mu mbeera gy'oba olimu ne bw'oba ozifunye nga tomanyi bwazikozesa, then you might as well forget it. Nti zijja kujja leero enkya zigende. Mulekerawo okuteeka gundi faith yammwe yonna neebanga egenze mu priest oba egenze mu pastor, mu individuals, egenze mbakulembeze. Naye gwe imagine omukulembeze oyo ng'azze ng'akusanze omanyi ky'oliko. You have a revolutionary mind. Ogamba agenda kulimba, ena byagenda okulimba nti no ngenda kutwala wano. Ompa akalulu. You will think twice, you critically analyze, you'll be able to say, no, ongamba nkole bwe nti naye no, manyi kino bwe kiti ne bwe kiti. Can you tell me? You bring them to account. We go next slide, please. Kansubire no muwandika ebintu bino bwoba ebintu biri ku internet, biri there's nothing that's unique about what I'm saying. Naye kye ngamba, maybe waliyo 1 or 2 of you abalowooza nti the way Sophia is delivering it and the ways Sophia is explaining it kinyamba. bwe kibanga kyekyo, then why not? Why not? So in terms of the next call to action, after prayer, you really need to forgive. Forgiveness is a really important thing in terms of revolution. Having a revolutionary mindset, having a revolutionary environment, having a revolutionary leadership, having a revolutionary Uganda. There must be forgiveness. Ate sigambye nti no forgiveness means genda otule nabo ku meza, olye emmere, museke, mukole ki. No, you forgive yourself first. First of all, fenna tulina ebintu bye forgiving ourselves. Oba kiri because of trauma, oba waliwo ekintu ekya happening in your life as in early childhood. Nga ekintu ekyo okikutteko ogamba nti nze sigenda kusonyiwa muntu ono. Abasinga kufe maybe back then, maybe bamama baffe batulekawo ne batulekera bajjajja, naye noyita mu kintu ng'omwana omuto oba n'ofunayo omuntu oba akuvumye oba akoze kino ogamba sigenda kusonyiwa mama wange lwaki yandekawa. Naye in order for you to be able to move on or having a revolutionary mindset, okwejja omugugu ku mutwe, you need to first of all forgive yourself. First of all, forgive yourself for not forgiving yourself in the first place. Then forgive others. Because holding on to grudges does not serve you. It is not something that serves you. You will end up serving it. Ojja kusanga gwe oservinze ekintu kino kyotaddeko kwegamba wenna ng'omutima gukalubye oli, sigambye genda obakubira amasimu ogambe please, I forgive you. No, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Naye what I'm saying, you need to mentalize the forgiveness. So blaming others is scapegoating and removes you from taking full responsibility for your own actions. Fena buli muntu ali responsible for their own actions. Naye gwe bw'obanga olina ekintu ky'okola n'ogamba nti no oli eyakikoze kati kino, when we are here mu revolution n'ogamba no Kimbugwe yakoze kino, Asera Nabs yakoze kino, nedda lwaki. No, tekigenda kuzimba gwe ng'omuntu era ogenda kuba ne mindset yemu ate tetwagala the same you in a changed Uganda. Twagala a new you. Twagala a revolutionary you. Naye revolutionary you means what? It means your mindset. Kubanga ebirala byonna nti oba your physical, your properties, it doesn't serve us. What serves us is a mindset which is willing to be flexible, to adapt, to see life through different eyes. Bwe tugaba ffe tuli faith, tulina churches nyingi biki oba tusaala nnyo oba tukola ki. Why can't we be faithful and see our kwegamba ne tubeera faith eno nebanga faith eri through our mindset, our spirit, and not by sight. So if someone had a debt, if someone does not respect your space, your generosity, kati olaba ekintu e Uganda okuba nti abantu noweereza sente ne bakulimba nkoze kino nkoze kiri, noweereza sente naye nga at the end of the day oddayo tewali kye bakoze. But don't hold grudges, kubanga what they give back, the universe will give them back. Or whatever you call it, God, the Almighty, will give theirs back. Buli omu putting into life will give theirs back. There's a Bible quote here that says, don't try to take out the speck out of your brother's eye when you have a log in yours. Kitegeeza nti togezaako kublaminga muntu mulala, naye nga fenna tuyina challenges zaffe, our own downfall. Don't try to blame someone else. Don't you continue to be concentrated on you. Kasito nobeera ng'oli focused on you and changing your mindset and how you think about things. Forgive, respect, be courteous. All of those things, kasita gwoba ng'oli focused in that way, everything else will fall into place. If we could go to the next slide, please. So the next thing is about get into new habits. Funayo ebintu ebirala byokola ebitali ebyo bye tuliko, ebitali ebyo by'obadde okola buli kaseera ebitakusavinga ebitakugasa kyengezaako kugamba. So nga gundi show yaffe eno ebadde about, it is madness to do the same things expecting different results. Do you do the same things year in, year out, expecting nti ate ngenda kufunamu ekirala? Ogenda kusimba kasooli ofunemu ebijanjaalo? It's something small like this. You take the same seat, take the same seat you take the same route to work, you shop in the same store, you eat the same food. Try something new. Socialize the same way. Abantu boli nabo bakuzimba oba tebakuzimba. I'm sure abasinga kumwe ngabo mwalaba, it was sort of in natural ntino bwe twatuuka mu campaigns fena twali tuli very emotional, abakkiriza naffe abatakkiriza naffe kwegamba ne tuluzinga some even family members or friends ne tugamba no, I'm deleting this person out of my phone oba out of my nga olabira ddala nti jakutwala sijo inogenda. Okay, next slide, please. So number 6, we said invest in yourself. It's very important, chili very important okubanti you invest in yourself. What new skill have you learned today or yesterday, or what are you planning to learn? Mulimo ki omupya oba kikula kyeki ekipya oba skill I'm sure tebakiyita na kikola bakiyita skill oba if munyambeko nenga oba but I'm sure you understand me, please. What new skill have you learned today? What book have you read today? Nange nasalawo nengamba no, sigenda kola kintu kyekimu day in, day out nga ndowooza ate ngenda kufuna a revolutionary Uganda. If I'm saying tino njagala kudda Uganda, njagala kuyamba community, njagala kuyamba each and every, those in need, or where I can serving the best of my ability to give them quality, not substandard. Nina kola nti nina ogenda nensoka nensoma neneegiriza new skill. Kino kyendiko wano sinti kubanga I really, was dying to be famous. Naye I had to get out of myself. Ngambe no, I must invest, but I've done research. I've been reading all this time for the probably past year. I've been thinking about this program of government. I need to get my Ugandan people, community, or anyone who is out there listening to me. Maybe they can learn one thing or two. Maybe I can learn one thing or two through doing this. Okola chino, I'm learning. I'm improving on my skill. I'm becoming maybe more confident. What are you doing? What book did you read today? There's so many other books. So I'll give you a few, maybe book list, maybe tujajiteka kumikutu jafe, a useful book list in how you can, what you can do to help build your mindset. Is it learning a new language? Do you need to take an English lesson or class? Learning how to do a craft, if this is what you always wanted, your passion. Gobobo ulidanti inachoyagala. Togenda kuba nedda, sagala kuba house manager or whatever, housemaid. No, ngenda kuiga something else. You need to believe in you first, yourself. Taking a course of some sort. How about do it yourself? DIY. How to manage your finances. Are you good at your finances? Manyinti fenam kusomero tebatusomesa bintu bino. Naye we need to learn. We've learned as we go along, and we've done, sort of a shoddy job at it, some of us. naye kati tugenda kweyigiriza tutya okumanya nti essente bazikwata bwe bati ne bwe bati nsobole okugenda mu maaso. Making new friends. If this is true, show me your friends and I'll tell you your behaviors. Make new friends oba boli nabo tebakuserving. Next slide, please. So be open-minded. Be willing to learn new things. Nga bwe mbagambye learning new things. Be open. Soma obutabo obulala obutali bwe wasoma. Ne bw'obanga tewakasoma nti kusomero oyisobola okweyigiriza. In-class education is not all there is, by the way. And I have another thinking about that. Kubanga, I don't think it serves us at all. The way education system is now, it doesn't serve us. Be ready to learn different perspectives from your own. Be ready to embrace change. Change is inevitable. It is the only constant thing in life. That is it. Change is even inevitable. Next slide, please. Tugenda kubiyitayita mu mangu naye nga nsubira nti nno mujja kuba muyina kye muyizeemu ate tusobole okumoving on. So a little bonus on what you could do, repeat these habits daily. Ezo habits empya zoyize, repeat it. You pray, you forgive, you take an inventory of yourself. Goals zange ki leero njagala kuachievinga ki, or taking a small bites, gundi. Small steps, step by step. Togenda kuzimba puzzle out of one of a whole. You build a puzzle from small steps. Research shows it takes us 21 days to take on a new habit, but 91 days to give it up. So what are those habits that are limiting you to be the best version of yourself? What is it that you need to do to improve your well-being, to improve your finances, to improve your perspectives, to improve yourself, to improve your family life, to improve everything about you so you can stand straight and strong and confident and come here on UNN tusobole okuweereza bannange, tusobole okugenda mu UFC, tusobole okuteesa nga nti nno tugenda mu changed Uganda etali this substandard. Why are we accepting substandard service? Now imagine if each and every one of you took the responsibility to change yourself, revolutionize yourself, be smart at it. By doing it, repeating it over and over and over and over again, imagine how a changed Uganda would be. So, as I conclude, banange, mwebale kubeera ku show. I really appreciate you all. Mwebale kubeera ku show. As I conclude, I hope that you've learned one thing or two from me. I am not the best. What am I saying? I'm not, the most intelligent person. But I am confident in myself that I'm intelligent enough to be able to come here to UNN to share something. We share something from each other. Some books that you can read are on screen. If we could have it enlarged, please. On screen here, you can go and do a bit of research on all these these sort of books. I'm sure some of you have read Think and Grow Rich. There's audio versions while you're reading. Reading up, but you can hear, at least go and get some audio. It's so many audio platforms also to get these books. They're like £1 or 2 or 3. I don't know how much. Maybe Uganda, maybe Nkumitano or Bomutwalo. The power of your conscious mind. How to use the power of prayer. And this is all by the power of your conscious mind and how to use the power of prayer. There's some of my favorite books from Dr. Joseph Murphy. You've got Charles Hannell. If you Google or so find books or any sort of literature on him. And lastly, I'm currently reading The Way of Mastery. It's a really good book. And I'm also reading at the same time The Power of Your Conscious Mind, 52 weekly affirmations and techniques to unleash your best self. I wish you all a good weekend. Ambassador, you get the best out of your of whatever you do. May God bless you. May Almighty bless you. May Allah bless you. May Jehovah bless you. Mwenna gye muli mbagaliza ekiro ekirungi, mbagaliza olunaku olulungi, mbagaliza amakya amalungi, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy the next program eri ku UNN. Tuli ku mikutu gyonna, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram kwe tuli naye not live, but Twitter tuli ku radio, tulina radio yaffe bannange, radio.co, www.radio.co, tulina, of course, ufcc.uk, osobola okumanya federal system kyeki egenda okututwala mu maaso. And you need to think about your human rights. What are your rights? How can you maybe start from there to read a little bit? Maybe next time tujja having a more interactive program that to sharing knowledge and experiences from a personal perspective and how we can build ourselves up and a community as a Uganda. Now, see you all next week. Ciao.